Hey everybody, I am coming making this video message and I want to talk to you all about the types of people that you need to watch and avoid. You mark and avoid these types of people in the workplace. The reason why I am making this video is because about 4 years ago I worked for a particular company and it was the absolute most difficult, trying, and I would say irritating work experience I've ever had out of all the jobs I've had in my life. And to be honest, I have not had a lot of jobs in my lifetime. I've shared this with you all a few times, but this particular company that I work for, I learned not only about how corporate operates and how they treat their employees when something goes down, but I learned about how HR operates and how they treat their employees when something goes down. And I learned overall and above all, in this situation, I learned about how certain employees, their patterns, their behavior, and not to offend anybody, because I say this respectfully, I learned about how when a lot of people walk around with undiagnosed mental illnesses or emotional problems that are uncontrolled, you will be a part of or get pulled into the toxicity if you don't pay attention to the red flags and if you don't know how to move and work accordingly. So these few things I'm going to share with you all are just patterns of behavior and things that I analyzed and I paid attention to with fellow co-workers, and I want you all to apply this to your everyday work experience. You've got to pay attention to these things because a lot of people, they are removed from their coworkers in the sense of, you may say, well, he or she that I work with, we are not friends. I just simply work with them. But you simply working with them, if you don't pay attention to certain things that they do, when things kick off about you, or if your name gets pulled into something that has absolutely nothing to do with you, these people that you say they are not your friends, you're just cool with them at work, you'll find out that a lot of them are the culprit behind why a lot of things are being said about you or even done to you. So the first type of person I want you all to pay attention to in the workplace is the busybody. Pay attention to anybody that you work with. And guys, I'm talking about any job that you work. I don't care what your occupation is. I don't care if you're educated for it or not. I don't care if it's looked at as a low-level job. I don't care how much you make an hour or if you get a salary or whatever. I want you to pay attention to the busybody, because there is always a busybody in the workplace, and this particular person, they are always in everybody's business. They are always walking around asking various people about their personal lives. They're asking people what are they doing after work. They're asking people their relationship status. Sometimes they'll even ask certain people their sexuality. They are also the ones that try to date people in the workplace. Either they're trying to have sex with you or they're trying to date you and get acquainted with you so they can make a pass or a move towards you. A busybody is always, they never rest at work. Even in the midst of them doing their work, they could be sitting at a computer, they could be a nurse, they could be somebody that's a factory worker, but they always make time to walk around and fraternize with their co-workers. They always go talking to them, laughing with them, playing with them, or revealing the business of other people that work within their company. They'll even bring up old people that used to work there. If there were former co-workers that got fired, or they retired, or they left, or they relocated to a different company. They will know all of that person's or those people business, and they're just a busybody. Pay attention to these types of people, because these are the same people that when they get angry with you, when you don't give them what they want, when you ignore them or you check them and correct them when they do try to get personal information from you, they are the ones that will go and they will watch you, and any little thing that you do that's wrong or that could possibly get you written up or reprimanded, they'll go to HR and they'll tell on you behind your back. They'll act like they don't know anything. They'll act like they're innocent, and they'll play dumb. But the whole time when your back is turned, simply because you offended them in some way, shape, or form, they will go into the office and they will tell something about you. Maybe you didn't clean up your mess in the cafeteria after lunch, and you left it there, and the janitor complained about it, and so they went and they snitched, and they said, well, so and so was sitting right there, I saw her, I saw him, they were eating, and they got up and they hurried up and clocked back in, and they rushed back in the office, they rushed back on the line. They actually did that. But just keep it between me and you, keep it low key. A busybody is always either in your face in some type of mess, or low key, they try to keep the mess that they're in quiet. Pay attention to them. Another type of person in the workplace I want you to pay attention to is the people who are two-faced. Two-faced people, they are not loyal to anybody. They will talk to a little bit of everybody. They will even laugh with a little bit of everybody. But if you tell them anything about yourself, and you may tell them, you know what, don't mention what I told you, they will still go behind your back, just like the busybody co-workers, and they will reveal any little information you've given them about your life. You could have talked about your spouse, your children. You could have talked about things that you get into after work, or what you do on the side. And it may not even be about you making extra money or having another job, which is also called moonlighting. You may not even be doing that. You could just simply be saying, well, after work, I go and kick it and I smoke. I get high. I have a couple of drinks. That two-faced person will go back and tell everybody that. And God forbid you come to work and you're yawning too much, or you're tired, or maybe you dozed off. They will use against you the fact that you tell them that you smoke a little ganja on the side. Okay? I'm not promoting this, by the way, but I understand that a lot of people that come up here, you all do various things in your life. But I'm using that as an example because this is what a two-faced person does. They are not loyal to anybody. They only care about themselves. They are only loyal to themselves. And anything they have to bring up to use against you, especially if it's going to benefit them or if it's convenient for them at the moment, that's what they're going to do. And so a two-faced person, they will always go back and reveal your business to other people, but also they do it to you. They'll come to you and tell you another person's business. They'll tell you who is coming in late. They'll tell you who they heard is about to get fired. They'll tell you who is getting written up. They'll tell you that they are about to do a drug test drop. They know all the ins and outs of the company. They know about managers. I'm telling you, this last company I worked for, there were actual individuals in this company that knew when certain managers or supervisors were going on vacation. They knew when they were going on vacation. They knew when they were coming back. They knew certain supervisors that got written up. How do you know this? How do you have this much time invested in your job to where you even know people in HR as your boss or your supervisor? You know when they're going on vacation. You know when they're coming back to work. It's insane. But these are the people that you got to watch out for, because they are not friends with you. They are not loyal to you. They'll be loyal to you to a certain extent in that moment. But as I said, if something is going to be beneficial for them, if something is convenient for them, or even if you rub them the wrong way or offend them, the same thing that happens with a busybody, a two-faced person will play you as well. They will tell all of your secrets. They will tell all of your dirt. Sometimes two-faced people in the workplace, you may not have even told them anything, but they just watch you. They watch you because they love to gather information on you, because they know that you probably see through them and you really don't even deal with them. So they want to gather things on you so they could use it against you at a later date. Another type of person that you need to watch out for, and this is major. This is why I say a lot of people don't pay attention to this. They overlook this. But in my personal experience from this company that I used to work for, I noticed these were the most these were no, I'm not gonna even say that. These types of people, they were the ones that they not only would spread rumors about you and gossip, but while they were busy talking about you and spreading lies and gossip about you, they themselves would be in a lot of inappropriate situations with fellow coworkers, whether it was for intimate reasons, whether it was to drink and drug with them while at work on break, or on the weekends or after work. These were the people that were the biggest troublemakers in the workplace. And these are the people who sit together at lunch. I noticed a repeated pattern of the messiest people in the workplace were not everybody, but certain groups of people that would sit together at lunch, even with certain men. You could see a certain man or a couple of men. It would only be one, or it would be a couple of men that would sit with the same group of women every day at lunch. You probably don't even sit in the cafeteria with your coworkers, because I know I didn't. I can't speak for you all, but I just don't believe in that. I don't believe in sitting with coworkers at lunch and hanging out with them and getting chummy, buddy, pal with them. I just don't. I would go and eat lunch in my car. I would drive to the restaurant of my choice and eat my lunch and just come back when my time was up. But I noticed as I was leaving out, the same group of people would sit together at lunch. And these were the people that would keep up the most mess. They would keep up the most confusion. They would be the biggest backbiters, the biggest gossips. They would be the ones that would start the rumors and slander people. They would be the ones that were real jealous spirited. They would hate on you if you came to work and dressed nice, or you smelled good, or your hair was done neat and you were clean. They would hate on you if you did not say anything to them. These are also the people when you're quiet as a mouse at work. I'm not saying you got to be quiet every day, but for the most part, you're working, you're quiet. You're not the one that's a busybody walking around skinning and grinning in people's face, bumping shoulders with them, laughing with them, and cracking jokes with them. You would say hi, you would speak. If somebody asked you like a basic question or a work-related question, you would answer it. But these people that sat together at lunch, they would be the ones that would hate on you. They would be the ones as a group that would watch you. They would watch everything you did. They would make assumptions about you. They would see you doing something, wouldn't have all the facts, wouldn't know everything that you had going on. And what they would do is they would go back and tell other people, you know, I saw so-and-so outside. I saw her looking around. I saw her watching so-and-so. The whole time you may have been looking for a Uber Eats order that was coming for you. Or you may have had a family member come to your job to drop something off for you. You could have had one of your children come to your job because you left your key or you left your cell phone and you told them to come to your job at the time you were going on break. And so you were looking around in the parking lot trying to see if they had arrived. But the people that sit together at lunch, the messy people, the troublemakers, the little liars and the slanderers and the gossips, they would see you doing that, and then they would pinpoint one coworker that may have been in the vicinity at the time you were looking for one of your family members or your order to come, or one of your children or whoever, a friend, to drop off something you left at your house. They would spread the rumor and say, you know what, so-and-so is stalking so-and-so. I saw him. I saw her looking at so-and-so in the parking lot. They kept looking. They kept looking. They was watching them like a hawk. And the whole time they saw something from afar off and they thought they knew everything that was going on in that situation. But if somebody had simply just asked you, hey, what were you looking at? Not that it's their business, but you could have easily told them, oh, I'm waiting for my son to come up here. I'm waiting for my daughter to come up here. I'm looking out for them because I told them to park over there near me. So I'm waiting to see if they are pulling up because I want to meet them before my break is over. Things like that. This was a situation that really went down with me. And before I knew it, my name was in a bunch of confusion because this one person lied and said that I was watching another individual that just happened coincidentally to be parked or be in the vicinity where I had been looking for another individual to come by me to give me a particular thing. The next person that I want you to watch in the workplace is the person that they come to you and they try to make it appear like they really care about you and your next level, or the possibility of you growing to the next level in their company. When they come to you and they ask you, well, how long do you see yourself working for this company? What are your long-term goals here? Do you really see yourself here in the next 5 or 10, even 15 years? Do you see yourself retiring from this company? Do you see yourself probably elevating here and going for a higher position? You've got to watch these types of people because this is the person who will probably be your competition. They are the person that will compete against you. They will compete against you, and once you tell them the position that you have your eye on and the position that you want to apply for, they will go behind your back and apply for it, or they will talk to the person or the people that runs that position, that does the hiring, and they look at your resume and they look at your work ethic in a place and a position you're in now, and they will be cool with that person. Or if they're not cool with that person, they will make it their business to tell that person about your failures in the workplace. They will tell that person, so-and-so works really slow. I don't really think you should hire them if they try to elevate and get this position, because they're kind of slow. When I work with them on a company project, when I work with them on the line, when I work with them in the back and we have to work at the dock or whatever your job is, this particular person, they will act like they really want you to elevate. They will act like they want you to grow to be a supervisor or a manager. They will act as though they care about you and they're rooting for you to go to a higher position so you can make more money. But the whole time they are sabotaging you behind the scenes. These types of people that I name, guys, I want you all to always pay attention to them. You may think it's minor. Some of you may even think that it's silly or not really a big deal, but you would be shocked at the small amounts of behavior that certain people display in the workplace that you think is minor, you think it's small, you think it's simple, but before you know it, when something hits the fan and when things start coming out, you will be shocked at these very people that you thought were cool, or you thought that they were innocently sitting together at lunch because they like each other. You will be shocked at how much damage they can do to one individual person or several people. A lot of the two-faced people, a lot of the busybodies, a lot of the people that sit at lunch, a lot of the people that even know managers and they're friends with them, which I'm going to close out with that. They are the ones that keep up all the mess in the workplace. They are the ones that lie. When you get blocked at a job because you do want to elevate or you're inquiring about it, when it keeps getting blocked and it keeps getting shut down, this is because a lot of people behind the scenes that are the busybodies, they're two-faced, and they sit together. They're always running in a pack together. These are the ones that try to sabotage you. These are the people that act like they care about you elevating. They act like they care about your well-being. They always want to check in on you and make sure that you're okay. They always act like that. It's an act. It's fake. It is not real. And this is why I will always tell you all, when I make these types of messages and put them in the airwaves, I will always tell you all, you go to work to do the job that you were hired for. You do the job that you have your degree or degrees in, and you go home. You get your check and you go home. Stop being the type of person in the workplace that want to be liked by your coworkers. Stop being the type of person that feel like you have to be close to your supervisor or your manager. Stop believing these people just because they have a similar situation to yours, or you may have shared a little bit about your personal situation and it resonates with them. You still don't trust them. Just because you're a single mom or a single dad and you're talking to a coworker that happens to be a single mom or a single dad, that still does not mean that you trust them. That still does not mean that you tell them your personal business. Really, real talk. I want you all to really, really pay attention to that. That still does not mean that you go out here and you tell them your personal business. Stop believing that people in management. This brings me to the one I want to close out with. Pay attention to the people that are personal friends with managers and supervisors and people in HR. These go back to the people that are busybodies, and they know when managers are going on vacation. They know when they're coming back off of their vacation. They know what manager has gotten written up. They know who the manager is writing up. They know about who's about to get fired. They know all of these things. You've really got to pay attention to the people that are cool with supervisors and managers, because if they are not outright involved in something inappropriate with them, they are the ones that are the eyes and the ears for that particular manager and supervisor, which is why that manager or supervisor holds them very close. That's why they are cool with them. That's why they do, as a manager, a team lead, or a supervisor, they fraternize with them, because they use that person to come and give them information on, guess who? You. If you're the type that's quiet in the workplace, if you're the type that never goes to the parties, if you're the type that doesn't sit with people on lunch break, if you are the type that don't tell any of your business, you keep your conversations very general, the people who are buddy pal with the supervisors, the team leads, and the managers, or people in HR or even corporate, they are the ones that are reporting back to them to tell them everything about you. Even if you wanted to request a day off, if you behind the scenes told this person, that's the person that sits in the group with the people at lunch, or they're the backbiter and the gossip, they're the two-faced person. If you told them, you know what, I'm gonna call off on this particular day, but I'm gonna tell them I got a doctor's appointment, or you already called off, but you talk to them outside of work, which you got to be very careful with. If you told them, well, I'm a lie and tell them I'm sick, but in reality I'm going to get my hair done, I'm going to get a facial, I'm going to the spa day, I just want to chill, they will be the ones that tell the manager or the supervisor that. Some of you all, when you go back to work and you see that your hours are cut down, or you see that you are moved around as far as the shift goes, that supervisor or manager or even team lead, they know that you don't like to work third shift, they know you don't like to work second shift, they know you love to work first shift. If they are PO'd at you because some gossip got back to them, or you told them a lie about why you wanted a certain day off, and you told them you were sick, or you told them your loved one died, because honestly guys, people will lie in the workplace and say that a loved one died, and that's why they got to take off for work, and sometimes they're not asked to bring proof. But whatever your story is and whatever the case is, you got to be careful with people that are close to management. And it's a very inappropriate thing, and people don't talk about it enough. I feel like a law should be passed to where in a workplace, when there is a regular employee that is fraternizing all the time with a manager or a supervisor, I feel like immediately they need to be either moved or they need to be terminated, because these types of people, they block other workers from getting ahead, and they stay in that position, which means when it's promotion time, you will not be promoted. They're not going to allow you to get ahead of them. I've talked about this in a couple of other videos that I made about the workplace. But these people should not even be in the workplace, and it definitely should be a law passed that anybody that is friends with management, that they should be terminated, because you just can't trust it. I've seen people at this last company I worked for, they would be friends with certain managers and supervisors and team leads, and initially, before you trusted them or you were cool with them, having just general conversations with them, they never really used to talk to the manager as much. But you notice a shifting. You notice after you share certain things with them about how you wanted to elevate or do something different, you notice all of a sudden that manager is watching you more, that team lead is watching you more, that supervisor is watching you more. They're asking you more questions. If that is you and you've experienced that, don't question if you're going crazy. That's strategic. They're asking you more questions now. They're coming around you more. They're watching you more. You catch them staring at you more. You catch them being a little bit tense with you and a little bit snarky and snappy with you, because that fake person has told them whatever you share with them behind the scenes. So overall, guys, this is why I'm telling you all, you got to watch these people in the workplace. Watch them. Be leery of them. It's not simple. You can overlook it if you want to, but from my personal experience and a couple of other people I know, those people that sit together at lunch and they always laughing and hee with each other and gossiping, the busybodies and the two-faced people in the workplace, they know everybody's business. They telling you everybody's business. These are the ones that keep up the most trouble in the workplace, and the confusion and the toxicity. When you see these types of people that are real emotional, any little thing makes them cry. I'm talking about literally those coworkers or that coworker that's always crying. They are not in control of their emotions. They always screaming. They always hollering. They're always yelling. See, they'll be cool and calm when they telling on you or something that you allegedly did. But when it's your turn to talk about things that they've done or things that they said, they start screaming, they start hollering, they start cursing, because they don't want the truth about them to get out. So they'll try to overtalk you. They'll try to get loud. They'll try to scream. They'll try to act like they're so distraught. I'm going home. I'm going to clock out. I can't take this. The drama king at the workplace. The drama queen in the workplace. These are the people that you all need to watch out for. And I know all of you all are not saved up here, but for I am saved. So for all of my saved men and women of God up here, I will always tell you all, you better pray before you go to work, while you're at work, in the midst of working, and when you leave. You better always stay prayed up, because if you are unprepared for these types of people, even in you being quiet and distant, only keeping your interaction work related, these people, if you are not prepared and if you are not discerning, they will try their best to pull you in some mess or make you look bad in some capacity, where people are disgusted with you when you clock in. And if you don't understand why, I'm telling you why. It is these types of people working behind the scenes constantly. That's the video message. Well, guys, it's time for me to go, because I have some other things to do. The Lord willing, I will be back with another video message. If any one of you have taken offense to anything I spoke about in this video, it's okay. It's all right. I'm not worried about it. I am not concerned, because I know you will forgive me in the morning.